Before I dive too deep into Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, I just want to take a moment to talk about one of the best parts of the Heisei Godzilla movies that I have yet to talk about: the posters. The posters to these movies are absolutely gorgeous. I don't know who designed them, but I hope they got compensated well because these posters, they go so hard. They're just so metal. Like I just can't describe it. They're just beautiful. So if for nothing else, these posters are just wonderful. But anyway, Godzilla versus King Ghidorah.
一段とパワーアップニューキングギドラ
Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah serves as the return of Godzilla's lifelong enemy, King Ghidorah, for the first time since 1972, nearly 20 years. It tells the story of a group of aliens who visit a group of human scientists saying, "Hey, you know your little Godzilla problem? We can fix it for you." And so, using time travel, yes, really, they go to 1944 and stop Godzilla's birth. But that's a bit of a problem because they open Pandora's box and King Ghidorah comes back and the Earth turns into one ruled, instead of ruled by Godzilla, ruled by King Ghidorah, who later morphs into Mega Ghidorah. As I've talked about in the past couple of reviews, the Heisei era of Godzilla movies have been consistent with their quality. However, quality doesn't always equal box office receipts. These movies were disappointing at the box office. They weren't bombing per se, but they were not doing numbers that Toho really expected. And so they went back and dusted off the Showa era playbook and dipped into the fantastic to mixed results. Of the Heisei era movies that I have seen, this is my least favorite. This is far from a bad movie, but the dip in quality was definitely noticeable. The thing that I did love the most about the movie is King Ghidorah. When you see him on screen, whether he's in his regular form or his Mega Ghidorah form, it's scary stuff. And while there are some VFX shots that don't look super great, the rest of the time Ghidorah looks menacing. And when Godzilla and Ghidorah fight, it is brutal stuff. Say what you want to about these movies, but whenever Godzilla and Ghidorah meet, it's always just a slaughter. I think my biggest problem with the movie is the tonal shifts because Toho wanted to go back to the well of doing these over the top things, but they had kind of set a tone of being more reality based, even though Biollante in the last movie was a monster created out of Godzilla's cells and a literal rose. So yeah, you gotta stretch it a little bit, but at least it was grounded in the reality of this takes place in early 90s Japan. Godzilla tears through everything and it's not going so well for anyone. So involving time travel, aliens using roller skates, laser guns, and basically basically a plot straight out of Back to the Future Part 2. It's an example of just doing this. The clash is definitely felt, especially when they try and do certain things with the human characters and Godzilla to where there's a connection there, and it just kind of fell flat to me. I feel like there was still some juice left to squeeze in the reality based, Godzilla style that Heisei was trying to do. I feel like there was potential there. In reality, when I was watching a lot of the scenes in 1944, I was thinking to myself, okay, Godzilla minus one definitely copied some of their homework. And I still love Godzilla minus one. All I'm saying is that just play the Spider-Man 3 clip again.
Similar.
They're just very similar. I guess that's my point. At the end of the day, though, I am going to give this a good rating, but a high good rating, because there is stuff to enjoy here. The tonal shifts will give you whiplash, but the fights are good. There is some good drama there when it is allowed to breathe. and I still am on board with the direction the Heisei movies are going. This is definitely the weakest of the Heisei movies I've covered, but still, I had a great time with this. But I passed it off to all of you. What did you all think of Godzilla versus King Ghidorah? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to read what you have to say. And stay tuned for Saturday, where we'll be concluding this week on the road to Godzilla X Kong by talking about the return of another one of Godzilla's rogues gallery, Godzilla's biggest frenemy, for lack of a better word, Godzilla versus Mothra.